Welcome to our lesson on photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is part of our capturing that energy so that living organisms can use it. This process of getting energy is called a biochemical pathway, a series of reactions where the product of one reaction is the reactant of the next reaction, and that energy capturing process to make ATP requires two biochemical pathways. The first is called cellular respiration, a process in which we transfer energy from sugar to ATP, and this is performed by all organisms, plants and animals. The second is photosynthesis, and this is the process of transferring light energy into sugar, and this is performed by only autotrophs, only our primary producers. So let's look at an overview of photosynthesis, and our question today is really, how do organisms capture light energy for the process of photosynthesis? Well, photosynthesis uses the energy of sunlight to convert water and carbon dioxide into high energy sugars and oxygen. These chemical equations are going to be required for you to know. So take a second and write them down. 6 CO2 means 6 carbon dioxide. 6 H2O means 6 waters. The light is coming from the sun. C6H12O6 is sugar, and then 6 oxygen molecules. Photosynthesis is going to take place inside a double-membraned organelle called chloroplasts. Inside this inner membrane is an area called the stroma. The stroma is going to be fluid-filled. Inside this fluid-filled inner membrane are these stacks of what looks like green pancakes. Each stack is called a granum. These stacks are made up of these green pancake-like looking things, and so these pancake items are called thylakoids. So these are the green pancakes. Different parts of photosynthesis are going to take place in different parts of the chloroplast. When chloroplasts absorb light, a large fraction of that light is transferred to electrons. These high-energy electrons make the photosynthesis work. So this light is going to come down, and it's going to energize electrons within our water molecule, and actually it's going to break the water molecule up. When light breaks up the water molecule, we're going to get oxygen out. This all happens within the thylakoid. During this process, we're going to make NADPH and ATP, and we're going to put those together with carbon dioxide that the plant takes in, and we're going to make our sugar. The NADPH and ATP are going to be transferred back to NADP plus and ADP, and we're going to use them again in the first set of reactions. So we have our biochemical pathway. What we made in the first set of reactions is then used as reactants in the second set of reactions, and it becomes a cycle. Alright, so the two types of reactions, the two sets of reactions within photosynthesis are the light-dependent reactions and the light-independent reactions. So the light-independent reactions, or I will say the LDR, light-dependent reactions require direct sunlight, require light. And several things are going to come in. Well, what comes in to the light-dependent reactions? Well, we certainly have light, and usually that's in the form of sunlight. And we have water, which the plant is taking up through the roots. It's coming from the ground. We are also getting in from the plant, we're going to get ADP and a molecule called NADP+. And both of these are coming from the plant. So, again, we have our light breaking up our water, and from that, we're going to get oxygen out. So let's look at what comes out. Well, we're going to get oxygen gas coming out, and that's going to be released by the plant. And also from the light-dependent reactions, we're going to let out NADPH. So our hydrogen electrons are going to be transferred over to this NADP+, and we're going to get our NADPH. And we're also going to make just a small amount of ATP. And these two things are going to be transferred to the light-independent reactions. Again, all of this happens inside the thylakoid. So let's put that too. Happens in thylakoids. Oops, sorry about that. Thylakoids. All right. The other set of reactions is called the light-independent reactions, or the LIR, light-independent reactions. And it's the light-independent reactions because they do not require light. So they do not require light. They can happen during the day, but they do not require any light to happen. And this set of reactions is going to happen in the stroma. So in that jelly-like substance of the stroma. Alright, so let's look at what comes in to our light-independent reactions. Well, the first thing that I see coming in are the NADPH and the ATP from the light-dependent reactions. Also coming in, we have carbon dioxide, which is coming in from the atmosphere. So CO2, carbon dioxide, is coming in from the atmosphere. Well, what's coming out of the light-independent reactions? What's coming out, and what's most important, with the whole reason we're going through photosynthesis, is the sugar. Is the sugars right here. So we're getting sugar, our C6H12O6, and this is going to be stored in the plant. This is why we eat the plants, is to get the sugar out. And the plants are going to use the sugar too to go through cellular respiration. What else is coming out? Well, also, we're using up the ATP to make ADP. And we're using up the high-energy hydrogen electrons during this set of reactions to make NADP+. And these are going to go back to the light-dependent reactions. All right? So basically, NADPH and ATP are just circling through these two reactions. Carbon dioxide is coming in during the light-independent reactions, and sugar is coming out. And remember, this is the whole reason right here as to why we are doing photosynthesis. Plants need sugar, and other consumers need sugar as well. So if we take a look again at our overview of photosynthesis, we have 6 carbon dioxide molecules together with 6 water molecules plus the sunlight producing sugar molecules, C6H12O6, and giving off 6 oxygen molecules. Remember that where each of these come from. So the carbon dioxide is coming from the atmosphere and we're using it during the light-independent reaction. The water we are getting from the ground and we're using during the light-dependent reaction. Sugars are being made. Oh, and we can't forget about the sunlight. We're getting this from the sun and we're using it, of course, during the light-dependent reactions. The sugars are being made during the light-independent reaction. Remember, that's why we're doing this whole process here. And then the oxygen is being given off during the light-dependent reactions. All right, so there's an overview of photosynthesis. You need to understand the difference between the light-independent and the light-dependent reactions, what's going in and out, and you need to know this equation right here. 6 carbon dioxides plus 6 water and light yields sugar and 6 oxygen molecules. We'll see everybody in class.